to First Things First. I'm Jenna Wolf alongside Nick Wright, Brandon Marshall, Kevin Wilds, and what an absolutely water cooler weekend in sports. Oh, he's off the tie already. He's done with the tie. What a glorious weekend we had. We have so much to get to. I'm going to get us off fashion for a second. Baker apparently needed to bake more. Cam apparently needed to cook more. And the Jets are still the Jets. But what is going on with Aaron Rodgers? This was supposed to be a quarterback battle for the ages. Brady, Rodgers, Bucks, Packers, and for a hot second when the Packers raced out to a 10-0 lead, we thought it might be. We all thought wrong. 38 unanswered points for Tampa Bay. Boy, kick-started by a Rodgers pick six, one of his 2 INTs on the day. How about Gronk, who finally broke out, caught one of Tom Brady's 2 touchdowns on the afternoon? As the Tampa Bay Buccaneers hand the Packers their first loss of the year, 38-10 was the surprising final in this one. Brandon, I'm going to start with you. How much did what you saw yesterday unfold actually surprise you all around?
Yeah. Jenna, I'm not shocked that they won the game because of, what they have on that team when you look at Tampa Bay Buccaneers. I am shocked how they did it. Now, did anybody expect this? I mean, because going into the game, it was only a 1.5 spread. That's what the Packers was giving. To me, this was all about Todd Bowles and his defense. You can sit Bruce Arians and Tom Brady, just shelve that conversation. It was all about Todd Bowles. Coming into this game, Aaron Rodgers was only hit 9 times, sacked 3 times. Yesterday, he was sacked 4 times and hit 11 times. That's unbelievable what they did. Now, we all know about Todd Bowles and how he blitzes, but when you look at how he does it, he benefits from the illusion of blitzing. Behind the Steelers and the Baltimore Ravens, you have the Tampa Bay Bucks when it comes to blitzing. But I think Todd separates himself in this discussion of who's the best blitzing team because he has this illusion. You don't know when he's going to throw it at you. You don't know where it's going to come from. And you saw Todd Bowles and this front 7 make Aaron Rodgers not look average, but bad. Like, really bad. So, to me, this was all about Todd Bowles. Hats off to this team. They went in and got the win done. Another thing that I highlight, too, is when we talked about this on Friday, we talked about who had the tougher challenge, A-Rod or Tom Brady. I said A-Rod because he hasn't been challenged yet. Tom Brady was challenged on Thursday Night Football against the Chicago Bears defense. This was his first real challenge, and this is what he did. This was an unbelievable game, Nick.
Brandon's first real challenge since the NFC Championship game, and unfortunately for the Packers, the way they mismatched in a negative way against the Niners last year in both their matchups with the Niners front annihilating the Green Bay offensive line, it looked a hell of a lot like that yesterday. And to your point on Todd Bowles, the year before Todd Bowles got there, the Tampa Bay Buccaneers were the dead last ranked defense in the entire NFL by DVOA. By the last third of last season, they were a top 10 defense, and thus far this season, they've been a top 3 defense. He deserves massive amounts of credit. But, Jenna, to answer your question, this was the most shocking result of this NFL season thus far. Not just because the Bucs won, but the way they won. Aaron Rodgers does not throw pick sixes, and he threw one, only his 3rd of his career. Aaron Rodgers, going into yesterday's game, in the previous 4 calendar years, had thrown 1 interception while the Packers were ahead in a football game. He threw 2 in about 6 minutes yesterday, and they were both almost pick sixes. One was, and the other one might as well have been. So Rodgers just getting rattled. Rodgers, who I love, making a fool of himself with the end zone celebration on a touchdown that wasn't even a touchdown, and then the Bucs score 38 straight. It was all bad. So, Wilds, I was surprised the Bucs won. I was shocked the manner in which they won.
Yeah, well, first of all, we need another new stat. Aaron Rodgers threw 1 pick six, and like the almost pick six, it's like down to a 2-yard run. So that should really count as 2 pick sixes. Nick, we can later on in the show we can invent what that should be called. But Brandon, I got a question for you. Jamel Dean said when he saw that formation, he's like, I got to make this play. I know what's going to happen. And although Aaron Rodgers rarely throws pick six, it felt like he knew it, and he said he's like, I'm going to take this to the house. When you were playing, were there times where it was where you talked to the defense and like the defense just knew what was going to come and you knew what was going to come and it was just a matter of making a play, or is there more chicanery involved and it was always about misdirection?
Absolutely, because, I mean, this is where our work comes in. A lot of people think that we just go out there Wednesdays, Thursdays, Fridays, Saturdays, do these walkthroughs, and it's all physical. But the teams and the players that separate themselves are the ones that understands the mental side of the game, that have high football IQ. Coming into this game, the good corners that I've been around, whether it was Antonio Cromartie, Darrelle Revis, Champ Bailey, those guys that I either went to battle against or practice against, they knew tendencies. They would tell you if you had a condensed split like you saw Adams, 75% of the chance, 75% of the time, this is what they're doing. So the good teams and the good players know this, and that's why they're able to sit on certain routes. That's why they're able to jump things. I remember one time I asked Champ Bailey in practice, I said, Champ, man, you got all these picks, and I hear a lot of commentators saying that you guess and you guess right. He said, Brandon, I don't guess. He said, I know the tendencies. I know the percentages. And that's what you're seeing here, guys studying film.
You knew, just quickly, Jenna, you knew that he had to be sitting on that route, because if Adams does a stop and go, there's nobody to help. Like he gambled, but he gambled from an informed perspective. That Rodgers, because it was 3rd and 10, was going to throw to the sticks, to the sideline, and because if Adams keeps going, nobody's there to stop him. But Dean, Jenna, knew that he wasn't going to keep going.
So last week, Brandon, I'll ask you this. Last week, we heard from Patrick Mahomes after the Chiefs' first loss. He said, hey, maybe we needed this. Maybe this was a wake-up call for us. Yesterday, Aaron Rodgers kind of said the same thing. It humbled us a little bit at 4-0. There's a lot of chatter out there about where we were going. We needed something to stop us in our tracks, let us know who we are. Could this loss, as bad as it was, serve as a wake-up call for Rodgers and the Packers, Brandon?
Jenna, honestly, I don't know. Friday, we talked about this. We all went around, and for me, I said there's 2 teams with 2 different missions. One team in the Tampa Bay Bucks is trying to separate themselves in the division. You have the Saints and the Panthers sitting at 3-2, alongside of you sitting at 3-2 as well. And then you have the Packers, who are undefeated, sitting alongside the Titans and the Steelers, and they're trying to separate themselves from the NFL greats, right? So when you look at this, to me, I don't know if it was Todd Bowles and his defense being that good, or just Aaron Rodgers having one of his historical worst games. Like, I don't know which one it is, and I have to be honest here. For me, I thought these were 2 different teams playing for 2 different reasons. And there's an argument here that the Tampa Bay Bucks could potentially be putting the NFL on notice. Now we're week 5, week 6. The trends are set. We know who these teams are. They're putting together. They lose on Thursday Night Football because of the penalties. They had 0 penalties yesterday. So I really don't know. I just think that this could be the Packers showing who they are against the really good teams.
All right, we've got much more to come on this game, including the one thing that Nick still can't get over.